I want to see what you guys can focus on. And again, we're recording this right now. So Mike, who's my assistant, you see him in the background quite a bit. Mike will send this out to everybody by email once we're all done, okay? All right, so anybody want to type anything? Don't be afraid. Come on, it's okay to talk about your pains. All right, so Redbird says consistency. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit. I can hammer into consistency for like 45 minutes, guys. So give me some additional topics I can even mix in with consistency. So Brendan says lead generation, conversion, marketing, and branding. Love that. Erica says new leadership role, finding a balance between still being an actively selling agent and leading a team of agents in all different levels. Man, Erica, this is a topic. Dude, this is a topic. All right. So I might touch on what you want to talk a little bit about, Erica, but I think almost like we need to have a whole nother like team development session, right? Because it's such a big question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, look, I've operated and ran several teams in my career, blessed enough, and it is not for the weary of heart. You know, it's like running a team or opening a brokerage, running a brokerage. Those are the things that really test your abilities and your patience and also your ability to delegate at a high level. And that's one thing I'll leave you with is being able to take a step back and say, okay, I can't do everything. Like the whole purpose of having a team is to leverage your ability so that you can expand. And these folks end up earning a living through that expansion, right? And so now you're not only supporting you and your family, your lifestyle, but you're also now responsible for other people's families, lifestyles, and things like that. So what we can do is, and I love the topic, Mike, if you could write this down for me and send me a message later, maybe we'll do a separate class in between what we're doing here. So we're going to do this New World Title thing second Tuesday of every month, but maybe we'll insert one in the middle and we'll say, hey, if you're a team leader, jump in on this, and we'll get that message out. So that way we can do like a team development course. You down for that?
Yeah, I'm down. Thank
All
you.
right, awesome. Absolutely. All right, so time management, love that, Salah. Time management, when we dig into time management, we talk about time management in a very different way. So we'll dig into that. Let's see what we got. Avoiding the agent roller coaster, getting deals, closing deals, and then coming back to prospects, start over, ups and downs. All right, so a lot of these things are starting to merge in together. If you think about this, how to convert to an open house, how to convert at an open house, at the gym, at the school event, etc. Okay, got you. How to convert in different places. All right. Brendan says systems. So systems comes in a few different ways, Brendan. So we can talk about that. We'll touch on it a little bit now. But systems, a lot of people associate systems with technology, right? Like programs and systems that you can use. But realistically, as a system is a sequence of things that happen to achieve a result, right? And so everything that we'll touch on is a system, right? You guys with me? Okay. SOPs, definitely. Standard operating procedures for those of you that don't know what that means. All right, so you're going to see something here that is really interesting. Lead generation, conversion, marketing, branding. That was one thing. Then somebody came in and said, time management. Well, you need time management to do those things effectively. So those two things mix in together. Then Caesar says avoiding the roller coaster. Well, if you're not doing lead generation all the time, you're going to end up in the roller coaster, and I'll draw that on the whiteboard so you see what that looks like. And then conversion, like how to convert in different places. So this is lead generation, is it not? So think about this for a minute. Everybody's response really went in one direction. How do I just create more business more consistently, right? And so here's what happens. And if you guys can't hear me, make sure you chime in. You let me know. Here we go. By the way, I love this thing. So you see me drawing a lot. You see a lot of the back of me. Okay. So bear with me. Okay. So here's what happens. This is what Caesar's talking about. He says the real estate roller coaster, right? And we'll draw this out for you guys so you can see it. Okay. The real estate roller coaster is very simple. This is your roller coaster ride. And basically here you have no business, right? Here you have a ton of business. I don't know what's going on with my thing. Here you have no business again. Here you have a ton of business, no business again. Here you have a ton of business, no business again. Why do you think this happens? Let's open up the floor and talk to me. Why do you think that this is the average real estate agent in America? This is the average person. By the way, the average real estate agent in America closes 4 deals a year. 4. All right. So if you're closing more than 4 deals a year, you're above average in America. Okay. I don't know how anybody could live on 4 deals a year unless each one of them was $5 million. Right? Like if you made $150,000 a quarter, good job. Okay. On one deal. But let's go ahead and see. Why do you guys think that this happens consistently? You can unmute yourself. Talk to me.
Market trends as well as not consistent marketing or lead generation.
Okay, so I'm going to write this down. And again, guys, I'm a little bit of a tough coach. So if I say something that like seems like I'm attacking you, I really am not. I'm just telling you the truth, right? Okay, so market trends. I'm sorry, guys, I'm having problems here. Let me try this again. All right, market trends, and we'll say inconsistent marketing. All right, which one of these do you think is the truth?
Inconsistent marketing.
Inconsistent marketing. Good. I'm glad. Okay. Let me ask you a question, Brandon. Leave your thing open because we could talk this out, right? Okay. If interest rates were 12%, 14%, 18%, would houses still sell?
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Because we happen to sell the one commodity everyone wants or needs. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah.
We're selling hats, right? We ain't selling t-shirts, right? We're selling the one commodity everyone wants or needs. Whether that means we're selling it for someone, we're helping someone get into it, or we're helping them get into a rental, and we're preparing them for the purchase one day, right? So now we go, okay, cool. Market trend, not the answer, right? Not the answer, because if you stay consistent in your marketing and your lead generation flow, regardless of what's happening in the market, you would still sell. Perfect example, 2007, 2008, the entire market fell apart. The majority of real estate agents disappeared. I saw top dogs, top producing agents in a time where it was crazy easy to do it, working at Red Lobster. Just happened. Market entirely crashed. But you know what also happened? A ton of real estate agents figured out the new angle. And they understood that there were certain things that were coming up. They understood that people were losing their houses. So they understood that if they made relationships with real estate attorneys, they could probably get into short sales. And if they made relationships with banks, they could probably get into REOs. And an entire new generation of real estate agents survived. And then what happened? A bunch of people started getting their real estate license again because the market was hot again. So the market's always going to be cyclical. What happens great is going to come down. And when it comes down, don't worry about it. Push your way through it because it's going to get great again. It just works that way. It's been like that for the history of real estate transactions. Okay? That being said, I oftentimes like to tell folks, and Brendan, not a hit on you, but I oftentimes like to tell folks, if you're not doing enough business, it's your fault. Right? So oftentimes I get coaching clients, they come, but the market and the this, and you don't understand, I'm from a small town and blah, blah, blah. And it all just sounds like Snoopy, wah, 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 wah to me. Because I'm going, dude, you're blaming everything else except for your ability to wake up in the fucking morning and do some work. And that's what it is. If I outwork you in your area, I win. Guaranteed. Can we agree on that? If I come to your area, Brendan, where are you at? Where do you sell?
I'm out on CTX.
Okay. So if I come out to CTX and I go, you know what? I'm going to put my bootstraps on and I'm going to go hard out here. Do you think I could potentially outsell you?
If you're putting in more work, 100%.
You put in more work, right? But then you could look at me and go, nah, bro, I ain't letting that happen. And you might right? Okay. So inconsistent marketing is a piece. Now, I want to talk about this real quick. If we talked about inconsistent marketing on its own, it has importance, massive importance. But if I looked at inconsistent marketing or just marketing in general, based on everything that I'm supposed to do to build this business, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most important, 1 being the least important, how important do you think marketing is? Not by itself, but in the big scheme of things in comparison to everything you're supposed to be doing. Scale of 1 to 10. And by the way, Brandon, you can answer me. Everybody else, type in your answer.
Man, I don't know if you want me to answer or not. I'd say I would put the marketing and conversion right up there at the same point at like 9 or 10, just because if you're not having that marketing, you're not going to have conversations. The conversations will convert the marketing into clients, which will then turn into dollars. But if you're not getting your name out there, if no one's talking to you, you can't make money by yourself.
Great answer, but I'm going to tell you something. I love your answer, and we're going to touch on that for a second, okay? But here we go. If I put the word marketing in the big scheme of everything that I need to do as a real estate agent to build this business, marketing would have a 6. It would be a value of 6 for me. Okay? Why would it have a value of 6? All right. Mike, bring Brandon back up. Brendan back up. If why would it have a value of 6? Okay? Because as important marketing is, it can't work on its own. Does that make sense? Right? It cannot work on its own, right? You have to have so many other things, proof of concept. You have to have people on the phones. You have to have, like, let's just take, a major company by itself, like Apple, right? When Apple first started, now that it's a multi-billion-dollar company, they can put out a commercial and one little stupid conference about the iPhone 16 that has an upgraded camera, upgraded chip, and I don't know what else. I think they added ChatGPT. Basically, it's the same fucking thing in a new phone, and they put a new button, right? Yeah. Like, it's the same thing, but they don't need to do much, yet they still have to at that level. It becomes more apparent. The number 6 changes to a 9 or 10 when you have massive presence in your community. Massive presence. Because now it just becomes a consistent reminder to everyone that sees and sees and sees and sees you, right? But in building a business, and when I think of the concept of everything I need to do, I look at this marketing and I go, yes, it's important, but what do you think is way more important than marketing? What would be a 9 or a 10? Right? Guys, by the way, you can chat in the box. I know I'm talking to Brendan here, but you can chat.
Yeah, I got to phone a friend. Somebody give me the
Yeah, somebody jump in and help this guy out. All right. So, right. What do you think? Follow-up. Great. Follow-up's a great answer. Okay. Follow-up's a great answer. But before you have follow-up, you have to have what?
Knowing how to do your job.
No, forget about that. I can outsell you and not know your market. Okay. Erica says relationship building, networking, boots on the ground. That's the answer. That's the answer. Because if I'm not building, and to go back to what, right? So Frank says networking to others. Absolutely. If I go back to what Renee said, and she says follow-up, I can't do follow-up without relationship building, networking, and communication. I just can't do it. Right? So what do I need to focus on in order for me to be working on the things that matter the most, the 9s and 10s? Picking up the phone and making phone calls. Doors. Visiting people and knocking on doors. Events. Attending events that I need to go to and network with other people. Right? Now, Let's talk about events real quick, and then I'm going to drop it fast. Real estate networking events are beneficial to understand and get to know the people in your community. This is your market. This is your industry, right? And if you want your offer to be on top, you better have a lot of friends in the industry. Okay, that's number one. But number two, there are other meetups out there. Meetup, you can download the Meetup app, find out where the attorneys are hanging out today. Right? Whatever your niche is, find out who those people are and where they're hanging out. Right? You're in CTX, big veteran and active duty community. Where are they hanging out? Right? How can I connect with them? How can I go over there and tell them about this cool VA course that I'm going to give virtually, and they can just jump in and learn how to use their VA to invest in the area, right? Like, hello, those are what the events are for, right? Doors. How many doors can I knock on? Now, I know a lot of you don't like door knocking, and I know a lot of you live in an oven right now, but it's going to cool down, right? You're going to go run out, and you're going to knock on some doors. Listen, knocking on doors in the market area that you're in is the easiest way to get in front of people faster. Providing them with something of value. Now, this is the big word. And we'll come back to it. If you don't like door knocking, then you better figure out how to get everybody's name, phone number, and email address so that you can call them. Caesar just posted, get in front of people. That is 100% hitting the nail on the head. Okay, Mike, let's let Brandon hang out with everybody else now, because we beat him up quite a bit. But I hope you got something.
Real quick, one question for it.
Sure.
You wouldn't, so for all of those things, it might just be a difference of how I view marketing. I would consider all of those marketing because it's marketing your brand yourself.
But it's a direct marketing, direct communication marketing, right?
Oh, okay.
So when I knock on your door, I'm directly communicating with you. When I pick up the phone and call you, I'm directly communicating with you.
Not like Instagram posts or something like that.
Right, not like an Instagram post that's kind of like it's like a shotgun spray, right? Like, hopefully I hit something, right? But when I call you with intention. When I pick up the phone and I call you, I'm calling you for one or two things. One, you're working with me, or two, you're going to give me a name of somebody who wants to and deserves to work with me.
Okay, cool.
Right. So Erica puts advertising supplements marketing. That's what you're talking about. Advertising on social media, getting out on Instagram, getting out on Facebook. Oh, but I didn't pay for it. That's still advertising. If you post it out there, just listed, just sold, right? That's still advertising. You're advertising your business. You're putting yourself out there for people to see you. Right? But getting in front of people on this direct method is the way that you get in front of people. Now, what's my mission? What's my mission every time I pick up the phone, I knock on the door, I go to an event, is to make as many contacts as possible so that I can have as many personal meetings as possible. Because personal meetings is where I develop relationships. Personal meetings is where I connect with people and really make them feel massively comfortable with what I do and who I am. Does that make sense to y'all? You can put yes or no in the chat box. Put it in there, yes or no. If that makes sense to y'all, put it in there. Yes, awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Vanessa. All right, awesome. So what am I doing? In my personal meetings, I am 1000% focused on developing a relationship with this person. When you want to develop a relationship with someone, do you listen more or do you speak more? Let's see who gets in this chat box. Listen more, 100%, right? So I am going to spend the majority of the time that I spend with this person listening to them, letting them vent to me. I call it giving me the ammunition to pitch my business, because they will not walk away from that conversation without me talking about my business at some point. At some point, I am going to pitch my business to them, whether it be an elevator pitch of 90 seconds or it be a 5-minute true introduction. And I'm going to ask for the business every single time. Some of you have heard me say it out loud. What would it take for you to send me a deal? What would it take for you to send me a deal? You guys have heard me say it. What would it take for you to put New World Title on the MLS? Like, talk to me. Tell me. I want to know. Give me the business. I'll ask. So there's nothing wrong with you saying, what would it take for you to give me an opportunity to help you with your real estate needs? Is there anything that I could help you with in your real estate needs right now? Have you ever thought about selling your home? Have you ever thought about not renting anymore and paying somebody else's mortgage? Have you ever thought about how much money you throw away in renting if you don't have investments? Because that's the key too, because a lot of people like to rent so they can move around, but they buy investment properties. Has anybody ever sat down with you and talked to you about house hacking? Right? These are questions that you can ask, but all these questions come from the conversation that you have with these folks, the ammunition that they give you when you're developing and building that relationship. Fair, right? Okay. So now let's go back to consistency, because that was one of the first things that we discussed. If I don't have consistency in my method, meaning I already know I got to make calls, I got to knock on doors, I got to go to networking events, I have to post to social media, I got to be out there as much as possible, exposing myself to the public until everyone knows my face and name. That's the goal, right? And as I close more deals, I'll be able to pay for more stuff, like bus benches and advertisements in magazines and social media branding and marketing and advertising, the things that cost money. But truly, in my opinion, you shouldn't spend any money until you hit a certain amount of sales. Because the majority of the business can be found here in your phone, and the rest of the business can be found in the community that you're working in. You're going to the gym. Listen, I wore a t-shirt today to the gym that said, I am your realtor on the back of it. That's what I wore. Right? How long before somebody goes, hey man, I always see you with that shirt on. So are you a realtor? No shit. Yes. Man, I'm thinking about selling my house. Cool. You know what the nice thing is? I go to the gym at the same time every day. It's the same people every day. So at some point, one of them is going to come talk to me. Right? At some point, they'll pick up on this. Right? And ladies and gentlemen, I don't even actively sell real estate anymore. What do you think I would do? I'm going to give it down to the team or refer the business if it's not in my wheelhouse. Do you get paid on referrals, ladies and gentlemen? Hell yeah. How much work did it cost you to do that job to get that 25 or 30% referral? Hey, John, want to introduce you to Jane. Jane, this is John. John needs a house. Jane's in your area. Good luck, guys. That was the amount of work it took to refer some business, right? Which is why sometimes those real estate events that you go to, they're beneficial, especially when they're a little bit out of your area. All right, thought process, consistency. If I'm not doing this consistency, this is what will happen. Here, earning $0, I'm going to be consistent as hell because I ain't got no money, right? So I'm going to be massively consistent at $0, and I'm going to do everything I can to put some money in my pipeline. And then I'm going to make some money. But here's what happens typically with the average, oh, hold on a second. With the average real I muted everybody and myself. Sorry about that. All right. So what happens with the average real estate agent? They say, all right, great. I got all these deals. I got 4, 5, 6 buyers. I got 3, 4 listings on the market. I busted my ass to get these. I made all the phone calls. I went to the doors. I hit them. I talked to everybody. I made friends. I created relationships. I took people out for drinks, coffee, food, dinner, everything. And now I'm here. I got all these listings. And I've got all these buyers. And I'm so busy that I don't do what I did to get there to begin with. So if I got 5 deals on the market, one of them fails, the guy buys a Porsche right before closing, ruins everything, right? Happens to the best of us, right? Some of you have heard my helicopter story. Okay, I had a guy buying a $4 million condo. He decided to buy a helicopter before closing, threw his DTI off, okay? Like, it can happen at all levels, all right? Debt to income ratio is debt to income ratio no matter how much you earn and spend, okay? One of those deals is going to get delayed because whatever, 15 days, you know, whatever the case is, lender wasn't ready, buyer needed to file something with the income tax, whatever. You got 3 deals left and those 3 deals closed. Fantastic. But while you were so busy with all those problems that were happening, the Porsche and the IRS and the this and the that and the people, and they got questions and inspection reports and all this other stuff, while you're so busy with all of that, you forget to do the things that got you there. So what happens? You end up here again. Now you closed 3 deals, you made some money, but now you're broke as fuck again. Right? And so you got to take the money that you made from those 3 deals and you have to average it out on your spending for however long it takes you to develop business again. And in the fastest route, it takes at least 2 weeks of consistency to get a couple deals in the pipeline, to have meetings. Then those meetings have to happen. Then you do a listing presentation. That listing presentation happens. Then you got to wait for photography and everything else. And they're going to fix some knickknacks in the house and they're going to pack away some personal stuff and they're going to paint the bathroom. So it's going to be like 40 days, 30 days before you can actually take pictures. Then pictures get taken. Then it's like 3 days before you get the photos fully edited and approved and video done. And then you got to put it on the MLS. Oh, it's the first time. So from the time that you called that person on the phone to the time that you actually get it on the MLS, you could be looking at 30, 45 days. Now, in other cases, people are 100% prepared and you get it signed right at the table and you send the photographer in 3 days or 2 days, right? Like there's that too. But you have to really think about what happens in the process. And since that happens, you get those people on board and then you're so focused on getting them prepared that you put that on the market. Now, I don't know about your areas, but we all know that homes are staying on the market quite a bit longer than they used to, right? Here's why. Because selling a house in 3 seconds was fucking abnormal. Guys, it just was not normal. Okay? Now homes are on the market the way they're supposed to be, giving buyers chances and opportunities to buy something. Okay? So houses are going to stay on the market for a little bit. Let's say it's 3 months. It stays on the market for 3 months. You get a buyer. Buyer comes in. Buyer gets approved. If all goes well, buyer closes in somewhere between 20 to 45 days, right? Depending on the type of loan, whatever, if they bought cash, etc. Sometimes you get a buyer in, it all looks good. 2 weeks later, inspection comes back, can't finance the house, whatever the case is, lost the buyer, back to the market. That happens too. So now you're back on the market again, and then people are looking at your listing like, I wonder what happened. Right? And so all of this stuff happening, it puts you in a position where you're not doing the work anymore. You end up here again. And then because you're there again, and you didn't keep the consistency in what got you there to begin with, now you're freaking out, and then you do it again. And you make some money again. And it becomes a cyclical thing of you making money sometimes, but not all the time. Right? So show of hands if you would like to make money every single month. Like, yeah, it just like whoever says they don't want to make money every single month is crazy, out of your mind, right? If you want to make money every single month, you have to figure out what the most important tasks are for you. And once you figure out what those important tasks are, You have to put them effectively into work, like making the phone calls, right? Calling everybody on your phone, calling your entire sphere of influence and forcing them to work with you, or give you somebody that will work with you, right? Getting massively hyper focused on this and doing it all the time, so that you create an even spend, an even balance in your business, so that you always have lead generation happening, so that you always have meetings happening, so that you always have contracts being signed, so that you always have conversion happening, so that you always have closings happening. Because this process that we're in, it's a longer process. And in that long process, there are multiple stages of closing people. And in the multiple stages of closing people, you have to be effectively closing them every single time. If I call you and I book a meeting with you, that's a close. If you show up to that meeting and we sit down and I gain business from you, that's a close. If I gain a commitment from you on selling your house or buying a house, or a cousin that gave you a referral, whatever, that's a close. I just closed you on something, on giving me something. If I go to that listing appointment, they signed the paperwork, that's another close. When I get on the MLS and I negotiate a contract with a buyer's agent, blah, 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 that's another close. Get them to the closing table, that's another close. After the closing table, reconnecting with them and getting referral business and Google reviews from them, that's another close. That's what you're looking for on a consistent basis. So I'm going to challenge you guys now. The challenge is to sit down and think about what direct marketing efforts you are doing right now that are helping you develop business. The direct stuff, okay? The picking up the phone, the getting in front of people. What are you doing right now that's helping you develop those business? And then I want you to think about what the return on investment is, because you can't lie to yourself. You can't go, man, I make calls all the time. And then you think about it, and you never convert anybody. You got to see what works for you, right? So whatever's working for you, I want you to triple down on it. And I want you to schedule time on your calendar every single day for that one thing, to do that one thing. And I want you to manage your time accordingly and respect yourself enough that no one can mess with that hour or two that you set aside to do the work. To do the work. A very, very, very successful real estate agent friend of mine who runs a big team, he wrote the other day, he doesn't check his emails till 11 a.m. Many of you just got like chills. You were like, what? No, I check my emails first thing in the morning. What if one of my clients has a problem? Or what if something's wrong with this deal? Or what if title emailed me? Or blah, 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 blah. Trust me when I tell you that at 11 a.m., you can fix whatever it was you thought you were going to fix at 9 a.m. So from 9 to 11, you could dedicate and put massive focus into the things that bring you the most amount of business. Again, don't lie to yourself. If you're great on social media, if you have 2 billion followers, but nobody ever sends you business or asks you to do work with you, that's not the one. It's good, but it's not the one. Or maybe your content isn't asking for business enough. Right? These are the pieces that I want you to think about, and then I want you to schedule it out. And then again, respect yourself enough to follow that time frame. Somebody mentioned time management earlier. There's another piece of time management called time valuement. And the amount of value that goes into the time that you put into lead generation is so critically important that it creates the waterfall of everything else. Then comes follow-up. Then comes building relationships. Then comes the meetings. Then comes the closings. Then comes the money. Now, I don't know about you, but the money's my favorite part. Right? Because although we're having fun in this business and y'all got pretty offices and, you know, you're running around and going to events and this and that, if none of it is making you money, it doesn't become as fun anymore. It is always way more fun when everything you do pads your bank account. Trust me. It's way more fun. All right. Any questions for me whatsoever in the meantime, since we've gotten this far? You guys finding this valuable? Like, give me a thumbs up if you find it valuable, right? Awesome. Okay. Any questions for me? Feel free to unmute yourself. Talk to me. Like, give me something. I'm happy to spend some time with you guys. Thank you, Caesar. No questions? Just mad quiet. Brendan, I want to say thank you for participating at a high level, man. I appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir. Always. I appreciate the help.
Absolutely. So we're going to do this, guys. We're going to do this second Tuesday of every month. You don't have to re-register. If you've already registered on the link that everybody sent, you'll get automated emails and soon text messages. We just haven't been approved for the text setup yet. But once the text messages get approved, you'll get notifications by email and text letting you know what's happening with the link and everything. By the way, the link is the same. So you could just go in your calendar, second Tuesday of every month, same time, and just save the link. Okay, we'll always use the same Zoom link. Additionally, if there's anything I could ever do for any of you guys, please feel free to reach out. And again, more than anything, I would absolutely love to do business with you guys. So, you know, again, we're New World Title. We have a great office in San Antonio. We're expanding into Dallas now. Houston is in the horizon. Austin's coming soon, probably middle of next year. So lots of great stuff with our growth happening over there. And a lot of the folks that you guys are working with and partnered with, we are also partnered with. So we want to gain your business by gaining your trust. And so I'm going to ask you guys for business. Send me a deal, right? My email is easy. I'll put it in the chat. Give me 1 second. That's my email if you want to take a quick screenshot of it. You can send me deals directly, and I will put them in the right place. I will get them right to our team. Michelle Salinas is our state manager. She is absolutely insanely fantastic. Like, we love her, okay? She's helped us build fantastic relationships in San Antonio, and we continue to grow with her. So, guys, you guys are fantastic in everything that you do. Again, if you need help with anything, let me know. And we'll do this again every second Tuesday of the month. And I expect to see some deals coming in my email soon. Thank you, guys. Hope this helps a lot tremendously. And I'll see you guys soon.